行了呗，可是不是，他也行了嘛，没把对起，行了多你行了嘛，那呢，罗马书记他提到的，主要的牛把的别突点的行了去，几十万岁，这些，天天了去，送过都自己这样的，他的确了，他上岸去这个其他呢，去国上的我呢还来为15亿，15修进一次，他去15亿呢，他俺做15亿的嘞。马达拉维那里，几当里面几个去15亿呗，用不到去15亿的叔叔的15强没得，上个去几地方的中西的什么地方的什么不去贴给美里面去，这个是用的多。
Now for the actual jena, as it's called, or like a blessing permission. Well, Rinpoche did the preparatory practices, which is done for the disciples, which is done for you. Which is done for you as the disciples. So Rinpoche arose, generated himself as the meditative deity. He established, he prepared the vas, which is the ritual vas. Then on top of that, he did the self-preparation, the kind of self-initiation. He meditated on the front, what's called the front generation, in the form of like an offering pile. So in that way, also did the self-generation of the deity and requested the meditative deity on your behalf to give you the blessings, the necessary blessings. And then when we look at the Jenang itself, which is kind of like a permission blessing, giving you the permission to do this practice. So it's not the same as what's called one in Tibetan, or empowerment. It's not the same in the sense that it's like a blessing more than an empowerment as such. So it's like this continuous streams of blessings that you receive. So there are different types of jenangs, different types of blessing or permission blessings. So in terms of protective kind of meditative deities, or kind of meditative deities in the sense of that you meditate on, as in this case here. So you meditate on these particular Buddha figures, and you receive the blessings of body, speech, and mind by reciting the mantra, for instance. So here in the case of Vajrasattva, you have different types. You have different types of tantric classes. Of the action tantra, of the highest yoga tantra, and so forth. So it gives you these kind of jhanas, give you stability in your practice. It helps you to faster realize the deity. So it's extremely beneficial, and you're given the permission. Basically, you're given the permission to practice this deity now. It's done after an empowerment. So the Lama then. Giving you the blessing or asking for the blessing. You receive the blessing through the Lama by way of this particular Jena here. So it has this special potential. It develops a special, or it helps you to gain a special potential or actualize your fullest potential in that sense. So when we talk about the Dharma, the Tantric Dharma, so talking about the Dharma that is specific to the Tantric practice, well, it's extremely profound. It's amazingly profound. These are amazingly profound teachings, but not necessarily for ourselves. For ourselves, these teachings may just be like stories. May sound like some kind of, stories, basically.
상바이나 고고마도 쥐기미도 가서 쥐기 매비수시 이마도 두시 참마다 배 최고시 표 있는 제외 두시의 내비 기상고 가르피네야 두시의 내비 기상상스 송영도 디지리 진도 상상 가서 우리가 디칸데 이미디 세부수르지 마차시现在가사가 동디 강대로 수시 나오셔야 이게 또
Now Rinpoche actually said, well, first he will offer a ritual cake called the dorma in order to remove any kind of obstacles to this kind of jena, to this blessing permission. So this dorma, this ritual cake, well, why is it offered? Well, this is done because this is a tantric practice, and the idea is that, well, as part of tantric practices, purification takes place, consecration, purification takes place. In that sense that there are beings around us that may actually harm us, non-human beings who are around us. So Rinpoche says he's not really sure what that means, but you know how they manifest these kind of beings. But the point is they need to be purified. Now, in general, when we practice the Dharma, obstacles may arise. That's just part of Dharma practice. And now, to overcome these obstacles, certain kind of practices are done, certain rituals are done to remove these obstacles. And it's always said that at the beginning of a jhana, at the beginning of an empowerment, these obstacles need to be removed. However, this may seem a little, it's not like we're surrounded by all these ghosts and kind of scary beings, so not to misunderstand that. So Rinpoche is explaining that, yes, this is part of the ritual, but we don't need to be scared and worried about being surrounded by all these scary spirits.
소막이 제야 되는 데에 송도 되는 데를 치죠. 소매 취죠. 샤체는 제도 괴바. 그랬더니 치바로. 그 취는 쉬게 취제야 돼. 인간이 무슨 상도 지상 상면 쉬게 취제야도 수요로. 아니 다이디 가사 취제가 많고 공기도 쉬고라 맞소디 가취시에 당한 취지가 디 취디 말이야. 睡觉下次的些，但给了多么讲谁的，什么的这些，但给了多么讲有的，但我说在济南街，告诉济南的什么的切完了，女边这边没满一个是就吧，看这几月份呢，这个多么的这经济性的，女边嘛去讲的比把水落的万州是些性的嘞，在这送标了，在这个样，写讲吧，写了下面讲吧，茶杯讲吧，开始茶杯那个几把这样的说个什么送的，几多那个的送个团体出的，然后不希望这些多么的这里吧，不是那些，在对面为那西家送的什么些，第一嘛就为那茶杯过年把毕业的，什么送的。
Now, as to the jhana, so the Lama has fulfilled the kind of, he has done the preparatory actions, so they have been completed, and now follow the actions of the disciples, of you, the disciples, parts of which you have already done. So, for instance, you rinsed your mouth, which is usually described as taking a bath, like a ritual bath. Then you did your prostrations as well. You did prostrations and you sat in a row. This is what the text describes. Now, when it comes to rinsing your mouth, well, it is actually, well, nowadays we do actually bath, possibly in the morning and so forth. There's a lot more bathing kind of activity, if you like. But anyway, we're not really taking a bath. It's kind of symbolic here. We rinse our mouth, which is like a symbolic bath in preparation for the empowerment. And then next is, as mentioned earlier, offering the dharma to remove any kind of obstacles. And so there are three kind of levels offering this dharma, offering it to these beings, to these obstacles, potential obstacles, to remove them from here, to kind of dispel them. So the first stage would be through peaceful means, through peaceful kind of activities to ask them to leave. The next stage is kind of through kind of harsher kind of means, kind of being a little rougher, and then the last one is the kind of real wrathful method of removing any kind of obstacles to this jhana.
다 상황이 추가도 되다 개치슈지디 담에에 나와가야 저 디제리가나 단단 가서 추 자주기 추디 상황이 추임이 이거나 도지스메 지나 계신 분들이 이거나 말아서 강도 유서디야 도지스메 니 이시지라는 것들이 다베지에 강 다베신가데 무슨바다 유상시인데 시유베 나반야부시 이게 샤 도지스메 지나 지긴디야 지나 지긴다데 담에에 나바 지샤라기 데레시 상마다시 도지스메 공 무슨 것이 디 슈유에서 디 종에 지나게 좀 슈유에서 아니 이 단문주디라 말아서 지나게 좀 버티데 집에 가도가 지나게 체 롱바지 제도는 배 할래비디로 계치모 취사고 심지래 제가 내기 배전다 사고 계치모 제유디가 딜러 다시 징이 용구요 용고래 저 디디가나 다시 지기기 매만이 디수제디 기도를 당에 동안들의 진시진에 도지심바 라마 도지심베 아니 내가 아주 대외 가지고 장수시 파리도 제스야지 그리고 시당지만 장수 파리스라고 내가 내가 지는 또 사제베 타임이지 제송을 삼바 가수시 파피송을 삼바 파피송을 제송을 삼바我第一次讲上级当这个기도年年的看到